It was all too much to bear. I pushed the cup away without taking a sip and stood up. Excuse me for a minute. I rushed to the bathroom, locked myself inside, and splashed water on my face. What was I getting myself into? This had gone too far. I thought, when I returned, the table was empty. Where did they all go? I looked out the window and spotted them gathered around the trunk of my car. I joined them and found Nina holding a small velvet box. She turned it over and placed it in my hands. Open it, she urged. With trembling hands, I lifted the lid and gasped. Nestled inside was a beautiful silver locket. It was exquisite, no doubt. But what was it to me? I looked at Nina, then at James, whose face had fallen. Why are you giving me this? I asked. Nina shrugged. That's for you to find out, she smiled mysteriously. All I know is that James spent a lot of time picking it out. I felt a lump forming in my throat. Was she implying that James was having an affair and this was some kind of a gift for me, a consolation prize? Did she really think I wouldn't notice? Or was this all just a sick game to her? I noticed a faint scratch on the back of the locket. It read, "Forever yours, Jay," and my heart sank. Could this be happening? Was this why James had been spending so much time with Nina? I knew I needed answers. We all piled into my car, still awkwardly silent. As we drove, I stole glances at James, who was uncharacteristically quiet. The silence was deafening. Finally, I couldn't hold it anymore. What is this about? I asked, my voice shaking. James flinched. What do you mean? He sounded genuinely confused. You and your sister-in-law, what is going on? I demanded to know. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. There's nothing going on. Are you serious? I exclaimed. Then why did you buy her this? I cut him off. You bought this for her? I asked, holding up the locket. His eyes widened in alarm. No, that's not what I did. What are you talking about? He looked away, unable to meet my gaze. We arrived at my house in tense silence. I stepped out of the car and hurried inside. I had to get away from him. I needed space to process everything. As I unpacked the groceries, my phone vibrated. I set them down and picked it up. It was Nina. You haven't opened it yet, she texted. Open what? I responded. She sent a picture. It was a key. On the other side of the photo, the words safe and sound were scrunched together. Suddenly, the events of the past few months flooded my mind. The lockets, the messages, the times I'd fallen ill. It all started to make sense. Now I was leaving clues behind. She had put me through hell since day one, using my own husband against me, manipulating him into doing her dirty work. Why? Just why? My phone vibrated again. This time it was James. He wanted to know if I liked the locket. I stared at the screen, unsure how to respond. I could feel my blood boiling. I had to confront him. I marched into the living room where he was waiting. He looked up as I approached, a hopeful smile on his face. I stopped dead in my tracks. His eyes were red and puffy, as if he'd been crying. Was this all an act? He stood up, reaching for me, but I stepped back. Why? I whispered, my voice heavy with emotion. Why have you been doing this? He took a shaky breath. I'm sorry, I know it hurts, but I can't explain. Please believe me. He reached out again, but I slapped his hand away. How could I ever trust him again? How could I have been so blind? All this time, he'd been playing me, stringing me along. How could I have not seen it? I collapsed onto the sofa, tears streaming down my face. The truth was a bitter pill to swallow, but I knew I had to pick myself up. I had to be strong. This was just the beginning. Now that I knew the truth, I wasn't going to let them push me around anymore. I owed it to myself to fight back. I owed it to myself to expose them. But how? I sat there for a moment, lost in thought, trying to come up with a plan. I had to be smart, strategic. I couldn't afford to make a single misstep. This was my life we were talking about, my future, and then it hit me. I had the perfect plan. And it all started with a simple swap.